Hello and welcome again to another screencast edition of Adobe Illustrator. Today we're going to be focusing on using the clipping mask. So we've learned clipping mask through Photoshop, we're going to learn it through Illustrator. It has more of the same basic principles, but it is done a little bit slightly differently over here. So I'm going to show you quickly for this exercise. So what I'm going to do is create a new file. Make sure it is set to your standard settings. Should be 11 by 8.5 landscape. If you have it set into points, make sure it's 792 by 612 landscape here. That's your standard settings of size. Once you have that, what we're going to do is proceed forward to use the shape tools. So I'm going to select this and hold. Select the arrow right here to make my personal widget aside. As I stated before, I'm going to use the ellipses tool to create my object. So what I'm going to do is make sure that my stroke value is devoid of anything. Plus, I'm going to change my fill color into red. So select red right here. I'm going to hold Shift key, click and drag to make a perfect circle. Now, what I'm going to do here is go to my transparency tab right here onto my right. If you don't have that, all you have to do is go to Window, Transparency, and it's there. So, on transparency, what you're going to do is change your settings into soft light. This will create a soft light effect with the other objects that are in hand. So what I'm going to do is press the V key as in Victorious to select my select tool. Now I'm going to hover to my circle, press the Alt key, and it'll turn into a double arrow. That means it'll duplicate. So I'm going to click and drag while I'm holding the Alt key to duplicate and release my mouse to make a duplicate. Now this time around, I'm going to change the color to this. Let's see. I'm going to change it to orange right here. So once I have that, I'm going to press the Alt key again and duplicate. You'll see a slight difference once it's set to soft light. Now this time around, I'm going to set it to yellow. I'm going to make the colors of the rainbow right here. And you'll see a slight nuance of the lightened soft light. Again, here, duplicate with using the Alt key. I'm going to change it up to green. I'm going to change this up to blue. I'm going to change it up to indigo. And last but not least, duplicate again and create violet. There you go, and I made my colors of the rainbow. I'm going to select all my circles that are provided that I've duplicated here. There you go. I'm going to select my circles that I've created and duplicated here. And I'm going to select my Pathfinder tool. Now, if you don't have a Pathfinder tool, please go to Window and Pathfinder right here. You should be able to create a little separate widget right here. Now, what I'm going to do is select the divide. And what it's going to do is sort of put it together and all in place. Now, again, it's a one whole object here. Once I have that, I'm going to press the Alt key again, and this time I am going to duplicate the set that I have here and bring it down here. So I'm going to release my mouse, and I should have this. Now, I'm going to go back to my transparency and change my lighting into multiply. Now you'll notice there's a slight nuance color right here. If you want to try color burn, you're more than welcome to. But we're going to stick to multiply right here. Let's see. So you see a slight nuance right here. Now, once we already have that, move this up just a little bit, center it. Now, next step is what you're going to do is create a type. Make sure we set this to black here for your color fill and release. I'm going to set my points to 72 points right here. And let's see. I'm going to look at Arial Rounded Empty Bold. And that's going to be my setup. So what I'm going to do is put in all caps, type in rainbow. Now, if you're not satisfied with it, try to find another. You could find another set of fonts. Here we go. Bauhaus 93 is another good one too. So if you want, or you could use Berlin Sans FB Demi Bold. Whichever any bolded type of font works just fine as anyhow. What you're going to do is size it up just enough to fit within the circles that are provided here. Holding the shift key to resize the type to make sure it fits inside the circles. Once you have that, make sure that you have your select tools set up right here. Let's see. And once you have everything here, go to your layer setup right here. So your layer board. Now onto the top right hand corner of your layer tab, there is like a little arrow with lines right beside it. Select that. What you're going to do is go up and select Make Clipping Mask. And voila, you made yourself a nice clipping mask of rainbow. Now we're not done just yet. You want to add a little bit of some effect to it. So make sure you have your rainbow word selected. So once you have that, what you can do is go to Effect, go to Warp, and go to Arc. Now make sure you set it to preview so you could see what you're doing. Right here. Just like that, you could easily move it up. So arc up here. Aha, perfect. So there you go. So I set it up to arc up right here, or you could do that too. So either could do arc or arc with like a slight adjustment here. But we're going to stick to this one. This looks better right as it is. So once you have that, press OK. Now you have an arched rainbow. So that's how you do it. And that pretty much completes this tutorial of this screencast here. Thank you again.